guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market, and today we have to mention, guys, Viktor Gyökeres, Nico Williams, something on Liverpool to say, and also more stories on Alejandro Garnacho. Let's jump into it. And so guys, it's weekend, but it's always movement on the market, always many things happening, always many things to share, and I want to start today from Alejandro Garnacho, because you remember it was almost 10 days ago when I shared with you the story. Alejandro Garnacho will leave Manchester United. The decision has been made. It's a very clear decision on both sides, because Garnacho wants to go, Garnacho wants to try something different. Ruben Amorim is not in the best mood with Garnacho, so let's say that the Europa League final was probably the end of this relationship between Man United, Amorim, Garnacho, people close to Garnacho. So it was probably the end of the story, because he only played almost 20 minutes. He was not happy with that. After the game he was complaining. Amorim also after the game in press conference going very strong against the players. So the situation is over between Garnacho and Manchester United, looking for solutions, but I wanted to confirm an indication on the future of Garnacho. The priority of the player would be to stay in Premier League. So there is interest from Bayer Leverkusen, but the understanding is that financially, despite the appreciation of Erik ten Hag considers Garnacho a dream target for Bayer Leverkusen, is too expensive, also in terms of salary, not just in terms of transfer fee. So at the moment, Bayer Leverkusen looks like an almost impossible solution for Alejandro Garnacho. They called to be informed of the situation, but looks very complicated. There is still interest from Premier League, so Premier League is a concrete possibility for Alejandro Garnacho, with some movements taking place behind the scenes, with meetings with his agent, so it will be more clear in the next days, but I can tell you that the player is giving a priority to Premier League. In this moment, even more than January, because in January there was the possibility with Napoli. That deal didn't happen because Garnacho was not agreeing on personal terms, so there are several discussions about that, but the priority of Ale Garnacho in this moment is to stay in Premier League. So let's follow that situation in the next weeks, because there could be movements, and my expectation remains for Alejandro Garnacho to leave Manchester United in this summer transfer window, and I have the same feeling also for Antony, another player who is on the verge of leaving the club, looking for solutions. Betis will insist until the end to keep the player at the club at least for one more season, but it also depends on the other proposals that Manchester United will receive for the Brazilian. I also wanted to add something, guys, on another story, and it's the story of Nico Williams, because yesterday, when there was the breaking news of the meeting between Nico Williams and Barcelona, the agent of Nico Williams, Felix Tainta, and Deco, the director of Barca, there was an Instagram story from Lamine Yamal. An Instagram story a few minutes later, with a hug between Nico and Lamine. They have a wonderful relationship. We know these kind of things. I always say that. For my small experience into the football world as a journalist, what I'm always hearing is that sometimes players can exchange messages, can exchange opinions, can try to push for a move, but then at the end is not that what is going to make the difference at all. But let me tell you that Lamine Yamal, to my understanding, in the recent months, every single time he had the opportunity to speak to Nico, has always been kind of insisting on the possibility of playing together at Barcelona. Lamine would really dream of playing with Nico at Barca. If there is one player Lamine could bring to Barcelona, would be Nico Williams. So I can guarantee that Lamine's story was not random, that Lamine's story had a sense in this discussion, and that Lamine is really hoping for Nico Williams to be a Barcelona player. So that's not just a hint, that's not just a joke, that's not just a game. It's more, it's a real desire, because the relationship between Lamine and Nico is excellent, and because Lamine would love to play football on a regular basis with Nico Williams. Already with the Spanish national team, they're having fun together on the pitch, as you can see. They want to continue at Barca. So let's see what's going to happen between clubs. Again, there is also Bayern, there is Arsenal. Let's see what Barcelona will decide to do. The player is quite open to the move, but now the situation is going to be one to watch once again this summer, with several clubs interested in Nico Williams. We spoke about wingers, but now I want to move on a striker, and this is Viktor Gyökeres, because on Viktor Gyökeres, guys, the agent spoke in the recent hours, saying he has proof of the agreement with Sporting to let the player go for 60 million euros guaranteed plus 10 in add-ons. So that's the position of the agent. Let's see what's going to happen in this story. We know Gyokeres is not so happy with the Sporting president, who said he wants more than this fee to let the player go, so not accepting the pact made by the director Hugo Viana a few months ago. Let's see what happens there. I just want to tell you one thing. Manchester United keep calling for Viktor Gyökeres, so Man United remain there, always informed of the situation. But don't forget Arsenal. Don't forget Arsenal, because Arsenal remain in active contacts for Viktor Gyökeres. Arsenal last week had contacts with Benjamin Sesko, but still no agreement Arsenal-Sesko, no agreement Arsenal-Leipzig, so we are not at a really advanced stage of the negotiation. The conversations took place advancing, but not the negotiations in terms of financial point of view. For Viktor Gyökeres, new contacts are taking place. Arsenal are regaining contact for Viktor Gyökeres, so he remains an option on Arsenal list. He remains a strong option, a player appreciated internally. That's always been the case. We never had to forget about Viktor Gyökeres and Arsenal. But Gyökeres remains in contact with Arsenal, remains a player on Arsenal list, and so remains a case to watch for the next days and weeks as soon as his exit will be clarified by Sporting. So let's follow the situation for Viktor Gyökeres, because I think with Arsenal could be still a story to follow in this summer transfer window, waiting to understand what they will do with the striker. What Liverpool will do, we all know that, I told you, it's here we go, it's Florian Wirtz. They already did Jeremy Frimpong, so Liverpool really busy on the market. But today I wanted to return on another story I've been telling you for weeks, and this Milos Kerkez. Because guys, my understanding is that Liverpool have almost closed verbally this story for Milos Kerkez. Now, I know Liverpool fans are really impatient, and I respect that, because there is enthusiasm, you want the league, you want the new players to join, but Frimpong, remember, deal done, here we go, and then to see the player traveling and have a medical, it took some time. Florian Wirtz, done deal, here we go, then to see the player travel and do the medical, it took some time. For Milos Kerkez, we are not yet at the here we go, but verbally we are almost there. So I can tell you once again, this is not the first time that Milos Kerkez will be the next signing for Liverpool. But still, remember also that in terms of timing, could take some time. But Liverpool are getting there also for their third signing of the summer, Milos Kerkez. Kerkez wants to go to Liverpool. Kerkez has an agreement with Liverpool. Kerkez is only waiting for a green light on that. And so the expectation is absolutely for Milos Kerkez to go to Liverpool. Now, let's wait for the formal steps. Let's wait for the next steps. But for sure, that's the direction of the deal. I can tell you also that the player is not listening to other calls because he wants to go to Liverpool. And so we will follow all the steps. But remember what you keep hearing here on the channel, that Milos Kerkez will be the third signing of the summer for Liverpool. A busy summer for the Reds with the director, Richard Hughes, and the coach, Arne Slot. And so guys, let me hear your thoughts on all these stories from Gyokeres. Where do you expect him to go? I want your opinion, guys. And then Nico Williams, again with his Lamine connection, Alejandro Garnacho, and more on Milos Kerkez. I wait for your opinion here in comments. Remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon with Fabrizio. Ciao.